Longlegs is a horror film directed by Oz Perkins, starring Maika Monroe as our main character as Detective Harker, and Nicolas Cage as our serial killer. This movie has had massive amounts of hype surrounding it. The marketing for the movie was some of the coolest marketing work we've seen. The commercial where Harker sees Longlegs in an interrogation room with the heartbeat, that was actually Maika Monroe's heartbeat that they put into it, and I guess her heart rate jumped up to like 156 beats per minute after seeing him. Just fantastic marketing for the movie. A lot of people on social media have said this is one of the scariest movies you'll ever see. Is it? No, unfortunately it is not. Is it a good movie though? Yes, it's a very good movie. Nick Cage does a fantastic job as the killer Longlegs. This is probably Nick Cage's best acting I've seen in a movie in a long time, even though, it's Nick Cage. This really isn't him acting. This is just Nick Cage being Nick Cage. The way the movie is shot, very well done. Oz Perkins does a very good job of bringing a creepy ambiance throughout the entire film. The way he has his shots in the movie, it lingers on the character in the center of the screen, and the way that they're shot, like you can always kind of see the background, and the way that he does this just makes you think that something's going on, and it makes you want to pay attention to all the surroundings in the film. It could be a simple scene as just a car going down the road, and you're like, okay, what's going to happen? Just the way that everything's shot, very well done. It definitely brings the creepy factor up. As far as horror and scary go, though, this movie isn't that scary. To be honest, I still think the acting in the Twilight movies is even scarier than this.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
But overall, we'll get into a little bit of the plot details. I'm going to try my hardest not to spoil anything. The only spoiler territory we'll really get into is just talking about the ending of the film, because this movie does do a little bit of a switch up on you, and we have to talk about it. Basically, beginning of the movie, Longlegs visits this house where this girl is, who ends up later on you finding out is Harker. Just a very creepy scene. They do a great job of not showing his face like they did in the trailers and everything. As Harker grows up, she gets into the FBI. She kind of has some sort of what seems like telepathic powers or something like that. Can kind of see what's going on in the future a little bit during one of her tests. She gets pulled onto the assignment of looking into the Longlegs killings, and the two FBI agents are asking her, how did she do it? She doesn't really know. She just tells them, hey, I guess these numbers right, but I also missed like 6 sets of them too. So tries to play it off a little bit. From there, we go into basically just clue finding, trying to put the puzzle together. Who is Longlegs? How are these killings happening? Because from what they've seen in the evidence, Longlegs is killing these people, these families, but there doesn't seem to be any forced sign of entry into the house. So they're wondering, how is he doing it? She thinks there's an accomplice. We start going into the movie, and the creepy factor really starts off when Harker's in her house. She sees a character outside in the fog. She goes out, turns around, character's walking through the house, and it was Longlegs leaving her a note. Very creepy, very unsettling. As we dive into the story, you see it's more of like a satanic cult type thing that Longlegs is doing. And then we kind of come to our ending. Be warned, we're just going to get into a little bit of spoilers for this. I don't really want to ruin too much, because if you haven't seen the movie, I do recommend going and see it. But as we get towards the end, we do find out, yes, Longlegs does have an accomplice. How are they doing it? It's the way that Longlegs was able to get these murders done. They panned from going into a serial killer story that felt Silence of the Lambs like, and we go into something and introduce this supernatural portion of the movie of how Longlegs was able to go and get his killings done. So the movie just completely shifts from Silence of the Lambs into a sinister feel. Be honest, I really don't like it. I really like the film, but the more I thought about it, the way they changed up the ending on you from what you were being led and shown at the beginning and middle of the film didn't really sit well with me. I think some people are going to get aggravated about that, which I understand. That's why this is going to bring the score down. The supernatural portion of the movie is just like, you were just kind of led astray, so I'll say that. Overall, though, the acting was very good. Maika Monroe does a great job as Harker. This was really good work. The shots in the movie are very good. The score's done really well when the music's swelling up at portions of the film, bringing out more of a creepy factor. Done really well. Overall, this movie, not the greatest horror movie. I still think there's other ones out there that are scarier, like The Conjuring, movies like that. Overall, though, it is a very good film. Enjoyable. If you are into the horror aspect, I think you'll like this film. Nick Cage, this is one of his best acting performances, if you ask me. I think I'm going to go ahead and give the movie a 6 out of 10. Definitely enjoyable. You should go watch it in the theater. I think a lot of people will enjoy it. But again, just be warned, the way they switch up the ending does bring the points down for me, and it kind of aggravated me because I kind of felt like we were led to believe one thing and kind of get into a way the movie was supposed to feel. And then they kind of switch it up on you. The ending overall wasn't a huge fan of, but good movie nonetheless. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Coda's Code. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications for more of my content coming up. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.